Yeah, I have to talk about Logan Paul and KSI, right?
Oh.
And you promised to explain. You promised to explain why KSI became famous.
Why KSI became famous?
Yeah. Why is he famous? I kind of understand why Logan Paul,
gamer.
But he's no gamer no more.
No more, right? Influencers evolve. Same thing like Logan Paul. They evolved. It started with Vine, being stupid, crazy, right? Then creating some actual real content and interviewing, let's say, famous people, right? But with KSI...
Scamming people. You forgot
scamming, yes. People, and scamming people. Yeah. But with KSI, he started basically... He's from the UK. He started basically playing video games, and specifically, I believe it was when I remember back in the days, he was playing FIFA, and he was just sharing his screen, him playing FIFA, opening packs of players, and you can get some gold Lewandowski or gold Cristiano Ronaldo, and you pay a lot of money on it, right? And basically making some reactions. So playing with some other YouTuber, and I don't know, whoever scores a goal gets slapped in the butt or shot with a BB gun. But it was just
let's say that you have some other famous YouTubers. Let's say you have Joe Rogan. I mean, he moved to Spotify, but let's say Joe Rogan. If you ask me why is he famous, I can tell you why is he famous, right? If you ask me, even Logan Paul, if you ask me about him, I can kind of tell you why is he relevant now, right? But I was watching the content of KSI, and I cannot answer the question why he's famous.
People liked it. I can't explain it too, but people liked it. Like, I'll be honest, like, when I was young, I liked it. I will not say no, right? But I wasn't a person who would watch a lot, but there are people who watch all day him, right? And that's the truth. It was the content that was delivered that time, and he was a genius for doing it and keep on doing it because he kept that consistency.
Thinking how to learn from it, I'm thinking how could we learn from it? Like, what is special? What is the secret sauce? And it's just very, very loud, and there's a lot of like face movement, like a lot of expression, right? On the face. There's like I was looking for what's out there, what makes him special, and so people follows him, and I cannot put it together. I cannot. He's gonna be. I watch UFC. I think this is super interesting, and he's about to fight Dylan Dennis. He's not active in the UFC. Yeah, KSI is fighting Dylan Dennis. I think he's. This week or next week.
UFC, in the UFC or boxing?
No, not in the UFC. No. But Dylan Dennis was kind of in that. Even Dylan is not into UFC, I guess. I think he was, but he wasn't. Maybe he was in Bellator. That doesn't matter. But they will be fighting, and I've seen like the promotional video of KSI, talking about destroying Dylan Dennis, and I couldn't watch it. It was like I was watching a 15-year-old, talking about.
There's a huge hype around now boxing. That's why all these influencers are doing it. Jake Paul, right? Jake Paul, but Jake Paul is a different thing. Jake Paul is like he's actually really he wants to be professional. He does really want it. He's working.
Jake Paul is professional, I guess. He is
professional.
He just fought Anderson Silva and he won that fight. And Anderson Silva was good. So you cannot explain why KSI is famous. Okay.
From I explained it in a nutshell, right? What he did, but I can't explain how he did it. It's like he did it with his impressions himself. Like he was the unique in some ways. He created some value, right? This is what, it's just him. Like, for example, we are creating value from us. Mick and Paul are the value added. And I think that's how it worked, and that was the content that was very interesting in these days. Now the content has changed, right? Right now people like to listen to podcasts and stuff.
For
example,
right? But then I see that Logan Paul has adapted to it, right? Logan Paul has adapted to the fact that people are listening to the podcast, and he's creating his own podcast, which is good, right?
Yep.
But KSI didn't. Does he have a podcast? That does he like invite guests and is having intellectual conversations? I think he keeps doing the same thing, and this is a big surprise because I've learned that your following will grow up eventually, right? So does it mean that he's getting new followers that are 12, 8, 7, 15, 18 years old? Mm-hmm. What about the following that is already grown up? They're not watching him making stupid faces to the content that's created especially for him to react to it, which is just kind of ridiculous. But I don't understand it, and I was hoping that he's from your era, right? He's probably closer to your age than to mine, and he did not evolve through the whole process. Logan Paul did evolve, yep. Right? Jake Paul did evolve. They are different people. But KSI is super similar to the person that he was 10 years ago. And I don't understand how this is possible. And I was hoping that you could explain, but I guess you cannot.
I have an old mind too.
Yeah, we are.
But going back to what happened, right? We just discovered that probably this information has been out there for some time, but we had
100%.
We had a video last week about KSI and Logan Paul and Prime, right? And now we find out, we thought that they're like, legitimate businessmen that, can create any, let's say, business out of their personal brands. Now we discovered that basically it's not their business.
They are very well paid puppets, which doesn't sound great, but basically, again, their personal brands are making them a lot of money, and their personal brands are making a lot of money for the people behind Prime, because there are like real investors, real business people behind Prime, and basically they put Logan Paul and KSI, they made them the faces of that business, because personal brands, they monetize really good, and they can go against Gatorade, thanks to those two guys, right? So I don't think it's a big surprise. It's kind of a surprise, but maybe not a huge surprise, that this is actually not their business. I'm sure they get a couple percent of the company, or some kind of big paycheck, for supporting Prime. But at the end of the day, this is not their company. They only branding this campaign. I think this is like an ongoing campaign, but again, pretty brilliant. I don't know if that was their idea or the real owners of Prime, decided that would be a good approach, to marketing. And I think this is a genius approach. But just knowing that, they behave like it's theirs. This is unbelievable, that they're such a good actors.
Mm.
I mean, KSI, I don't know, but Logan Paul is a good actor, so they just such a good actors, and they made us believe that they created this brand. They were just sitting together, drinking whatever, Gatorade, or just hanging out, and they created this idea, and now this is our dream. Let's make it happen together. It's just,
it's scary in some ways.
It's scary because, there's a lot of people like, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo or whatever other, Michael Jordan. If they were, like advertising something, you would know, right?
Yeah.
They are getting paid to advertise Nike. They are getting paid to advertise whatever. But in that case, in terms of Logan Paul and KSI, they made everybody believe that this is their brand. They're not just getting paid for talking about it. This is their brand, which is, I think, next level of marketing. Using personal brands, of super famous people to market products that are not theirs, but we make everybody believe they are theirs because that would, make people to buy more of it. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, I believe this is the future. I think now there's going to be more and more these type of companies that are going to brands that are going to be created by just personal brands. I'm an influencer. I have millions of following, and what I do is, let's say, I'm the business creator, the innovator, the product, creator, and I'm going to go to this influencer. I'll say, hey, here's 50% of the company. Or here's 80% of the company. We're going to take this to $1 billion company. You're going to make a lot of money. Boom. They're going to be like, yeah, sure. And now, but you have to sell it as it's yours.
Yeah, sure. I mean, should not be surprised that this is happening, but
no, it's not surprising.
It is happening.